Bryce Harper last night put on an emotional show that nobody in baseball could recreate that. Nobody. And I'm here to tell everybody today that with the exception, we're going to put LeBron on a different planet, with the exception of maybe Russell Westbrook, maybe a receiver, Odell Beckham Jr., maybe.
Antonio Brown.
AB. He is on the short list of most polarizing athletes in the entire country.
And it's odd to say that, BT, because when you talk about baseball players, we just don't get overly excited about them outside of their games, right? We see them, we know them, we understand their contracts, their history, where they rank in team, lore or in Major League Baseball lore. But even the best ones, except for those that were cheating back in the day, which made them polarizing to us, we don't even talk about. Like Mike Trout, we don't bring his name up unless we're watching him play or he does something amazing, like has a 3-home run night, which he hasn't had yet. Actually, hasn't done much this season so far.
Yeah, they're 1-5.
Right, and against teams they should have been beating too, by the way. But even the Chris Sales of the world, the Blake Snells who won the Cy Young, maybe Scherzer I'm trying to think of some of these pictures.
Well, like, listen, if DeGrom's dealing and DeGrom's like got 12 or 13 whiffs, I'm not saying Citi Field's not popping.
But here's the thing. It's in the game. That's it.
That's a large part of what I mean.
Great job, man. That was awesome. Did you see what he did? And you forget about it a few hours later or, the next day. You're on to the next thing. There's nothing that boils your blood or the opposite of whatever boil your blood would be with baseball players. It's weird. It's interesting. If football players, you talk about them all week, right? They have a great game. You talk about it for 5 days. Baseball player, you just kind of forget and move on, which is interesting.
This kid is special. That's why when we talked about, and not just because he went yard, and we'll play it for you in case you missed it. I was watching on the MLB Network when I got home last night. But that's why when we were talking about free agency this winter, Machado, Harper, it was so easy for me to look at the two and say, even if the numbers are identical, and by the way, Machado's numbers in a lot of areas are actually higher.
Right.
But if you view them through a fairly even baseball prism, there is no doubt that Bryce Harper, whether it's $30, $40, $50 million, however you want to quantify it, over the length of a contract, he's just exponentially worth more to your franchise. I mean, we don't actually have the sound, and I know that they went nuts in San Diego and, now batting Manny Machado. Not the same as when he first raced out to right field as a Philly, and he's at Citizens Bank, and he's bowing to the right field bleachers. It was like Mardi Gras. It was like the Super Bowl. It was like a championship parade. It was like a casino at 1 o'clock. You're sitting at that casino table, and the communal win. We don't even know blackjack.
It's awesome. Like 300.
Everybody's going bonkers. Everybody's was just in this rare frenzy for baseball. And you just don't get – again, if DeGrom has 13 strikeouts or 14, Citi Field is going to be rocking. Same with Scherzer. That anticipatory buzz as you get deeper into the game. 2 strikes on a hitter. Pedro had it. Roger Clemens had it. All the great strikeout artists have always had it and always will. Dwight Gooden, of course, in the mid-'80s. Tom Seaver, Nolan Ryan. But Bryce Harper is raw power. He is flair. He's got the look. He's got an edge. He's got an edge. And and this is important in 2019, he's got a social media presence that is palpable. Something Mike Trout doesn't have, something Manny Machado doesn't have, something no other baseball player has.
Right. Guys don't even try to be social influencers, to use the word that's trendy today for guys who engage in social media and have hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of followers and fans. Now, to set this up, Bryce Harper obviously signed with the Philadelphia Phillies in free agency. His first game back to his former franchise, the Washington Nationals Park, happened last night. And we had a debate yesterday about what would happen. BT said respectfully cheer, then boom, the rest of the night. I said cheer him. He was your champion. The Nationals offered him a crap offer over till 1972 or whatever it was.
2072.
whatever the year was. Yeah. And he said, no, it doesn't make any sense. But his first trip back to the plate at Nationals Park. And here's what we heard. Now, at that point, it's interesting because if you just listen to this, that's a lot of cheers. These Nationals fans, were they cheering for him?
Go Philly fans getting in the house.
What had happened was the Phillies.
The
Phillies were up 6-0 at that point, I think. 6-0, and it was empty. I mean, game was over. The eighth inning. Game was history. Phillies fans had made their way down. They were there to enjoy this blowout of the Phillies in Washington's home ballpark. And so when he hit that home run in the eighth, that was all Phillies fans giving it to him. They traveled. It's close. It's only a couple-hour trip, either by train or by car. So the Phillies were there representing. And I got to tell you, I didn't know how Bryce Harper emotionally would respond, not only to this big deal that he's gotten in Philly and the Philadelphia fans. I remember he went 0-for in his first game, but it had an influence on the game. Since then, he hit 2 home runs, and now in his fourth game of the season, hit another home run. He's handling this as amazingly as any high-profile player in the sport could handle this. It's unbelievable.
Well, listen, my prediction was 50 bombs minimum for Bryce Harper, and I believe he stays healthy, which has been, evasive for him over the years. I believe he's gonna do that. He is just. It looks like he is fitted. The energy, the celebrations with his teammates. They've got like 5 different choreographed hands, and they're elaborate. There's like 5 or 6 layers to them. So they're vibing. By the way,
what do you think they do in spring training?
I hear you. Spit seeds, take a little BP, jog a little bit, and work on their dance moves.